So, if you talk a lot, like I do, then you need to look after your voice box, the larynx. Obviously, larynx is not going to function on its own. Your voice actually starts um, from your feet all the way up. And you must read this book by Jeremy Fisher called This is a Voice, and there are 99 exercises. You don't have to do all 99 exercises, but what I mean to say, you need to understand your voice box. That's your larynx, that's your voice box. Now, interestingly, this is one of the chakras in ancient Kundalini yoga tradition. But the main thing I'm focusing today here is on the nasal cavity, and that's why this is sitting here. So a lot of us will have a blocked up nasal cavity and sinusitis. The problem is the sinuses drain anti-gravity. That means the holes to drain the sinuses is situated at the top. So the only time sinuses will drain when you're lying on your side, and then you go on to the other side. But most of us unfortunately tend to sleep on one side only. They don't go to the other side. So majority will have one sinuses less drained than the other sinuses. Now, to have a good talking voice and singing voice, other than the health of this, you need health of this plus your tongue and your teeth and the gum and your windpipe and your lungs. Where is the lungs gone? Hold on a second. Yes. So you have to have a good lungs. Like my daughter was telling that they did a vital capacity test, like how much air you can blow in a plastic bag, and apparently she topped the class. She's a great singer. She's still getting singing lessons. But the diaphragm is extremely important. How low your diaphragm will descend when you take a deep breath in will determine how much air you can pack in your lungs. And as you sing or talk, you liberate a little air up, and the volume of the air coming per millisecond plus the tension in your vocal cord depends the pitch and the magnitude, the loudness, the decibel of your voice. Now, even if you don't want to sing or you can't sing, you think you need to hum, because it's a very good chest physio, and we see a lot of patients in the hospital with aspiration pneumonia, community acquired pneumonia, and they all need chest physio. The best chest physio is cough. You need to cough from time to time to clear everything up. And this book is a must read if you want to be a singer. Now, what I'm going to talk now, yes, read this book. Buy this on Amazon and read this book. But when we talk about Indian singers, the Eastern singers, they do two simple hacks for their health of their sinus and upper airway. One hack is called Nasapan. Nasa means nose and pan means to drink. So they drink water, literally they drink water through their nostril to wash their sinuses. Now that's a difficult task, but easy to do. You cup your hand like this, you take some lukewarm water, if you can put a pinch of salt, even better, and then you close one nostril and take it to your other nostril and sniff it in. Now the first time you do it in your life, God, you will remember that, because you will feel like you're about to die, because that water will hit your the roof of the nasopharynx, where it's very rich sensitive nerves, and it has never been touched by water before. Although that's not true, because every day you produce gallons and gallons, not really, mils and mils of nasal phlegm that most of us we swallow. You don't even know. Sometimes you pick it up. Some people do it in front of public because it's a real bad nasty habit. Anyway, so they wash their nose every day, and this is a modern version. This is called a bottle called Neil Mary. You fill it with lukewarm water, and then you press it against one nose and squeeze it. It's same as holding it, but you can hold more water in here. So that's one way. It's called nasal douche or nasapan in yoga philosophy. And this is the other. This is a very energetic immunological cocktail of clove, black pepper crushed, ginger, which will be crushed, bay leaf, cinnamon. Either you use powder or the stick and crush it. I think I will go for this one. but you need to be sure of the quality of this, because sometimes people mix bad stuff into this. So if you can, make your own cinnamon powder in a crushing machine, and either use a whole cardamom or cardamom seeds. So then you roast it, then crush it in a dhinchak or in a grinder, and then you boil it, make a concoction, and keep it. And once you make it, you can do one drink. It's like your herbal tea. You can even mix it. Sometimes I mix it in my herbal tea. When you drink it, your throat will be on fire. It will get warm, and it will liquefy the mucus, the phlegm, and it's easily coughable. It's like a mucolytic cocktail, also boost immune system. So that's it. That's a quick talk about how to look after your vocal box. I had to stop because my daughter just went out, and he cannot sing, but he can bark really loudly. Oh, that's a good jaw pandiculation. No, see, he's also suffering from sinus problem, I think. Come here, Coffee, I'll give you a concoction, like magic potion of Asterix and Obelix. So, listen, I'm not a singer, but I sing like all of you guys. We should sing. And here is an example. This is a song I dedicated to my wife when I first met her, not my wife, back then in 2000. And I was recording this song in a toilet to give this echoey, like a what is it called, the instrument that people use to artificially make their voice sound nice. And then in the middle of night, somebody entered into the toilet. I had to stop singing, and then there was no pause button. I have to redo the singing again. Then as I was singing again in the middle of the night in a boys hostel, a medical school, and then at the second take, a truck came, because in Calcutta the trucks deliver goods in the middle of night. So 2 o'clock, again I had to retake the song. After so many takes, I managed to record the song and send it to my girlfriend then, but wife now, of 22 years. And this song goes like this. It means kabhi kabhi mere dil mein khayal aata hai, means sometime in my heart, in my mind, a thought comes कि जैसे तुझको बनाया है मेरे लिए, something like that. That means you are made by God only for me. So कभी कभी मेरे दिल में ख्याल आता है कि जैसे तुझको बनाया गया है मेरे लिए, कि जैसे तुझको बनाया गया है मेरे लिए, कि अब से पहले सितारों में बस रही थी कहीं, तुझे ज़मीं पे बुलाया गया है मेरे लिए. That's it. Have a nice day. Have a nice day, but I forgot to show you how it is done. So you take this thing, grater, ginger, and put all the powder and the stuff there, and you need to crush the seeds here, otherwise all of the extract will not come out. Then you transfer everything here and boil it up, and then strain it and drink it. So it is going to come to boil, and I will just wait. In the meantime, I can move my stuff into my lunch box, my lunchtime protein, and put this to wash while that heats up. So normally you would strain it and then drink it hot like tea, and you might want to add some honey to make it nicer. I also will add black salt. Yes, I also add a pinch of black salt to make it tasting more like a proper drink, like a cocktail. So this is a voice cocktail. If you want to look after your voice box, you need to drink this cocktail regularly. It's also very good for your immune system health. If you suffer from recurrent cough and cold, it helps that. And other thing I haven't put is lemon. Traditionally, you're not supposed to put lime in it, but sometime I can to make it a very even nicer cocktail, because this is quite fiery. Because as you drink, your whole voice box will get warmed up, like you will feel literally it heating up. And then, but it doesn't have any taste as such. There is no salt, there is no sour, there is no sweet. So I would rather make it salty, soury, and sweet by adding all this, so that it is an enjoyable drink rather than a punishment drink. You know, punishment drink, the health concoctions, we used to call it pachon in Bangla language, in Indian language. Pachon means when you put a lot of stuff, crush it up in a mortar and pestle. You can use a smaller dhinchak. I call it dhinchak. Dhinchak sounds much more poetic rather than mortar and pestle. You know, mortar and pestle, dhinchak. So you can use a dhinchak to crush everything. As I said, I have crushed, but still you can see a lot of particles. So you don't want this in your mouth. You want a smooth taste. So you strain it and you drink it, as simple as that. And this is my wife's first drink of the day. So herbal tea, and she will always put half of a lime. That's a bit too much for me, but that's okay for her. So yeah, so now that concludes my video on this magical potion. Does it? Now I'm going to put 2 tablespoonful of honey. Remember, honey has got a lot of calories and not too much. And this has come to a boil, so I'm going to switch it off. Because I'm very impatient, I used a muslin to drain, and that's my concoction. We used to do tea like this when I was a kid. You know, it's much faster, but be very careful. Then we use 2 spoons to squeeze the life out of it. And then of course you are going to keep it there to be cleaned, and come back to the magic concoction, because I'm about to go running. So now I'm going to drop this. I wish you just could have spout, because I might drop this. That's my honey and salt mixture, and I'm just going to pour half of it, or maybe more than half of it, and then I'm going to give it a stir and then pour it to my portable. And then I normally drive to a quiet park and then start running at the park. So now I'm going to transfer this to my portable coffee mug, and that cocktail, I think I should sell it, maybe £4. You know, it's way better than standard drink that you will buy. It tastes wise nice. It is, you will feel like, I don't know, you have to taste it, otherwise you will not never know. Anyway, so that concludes my This is a Voice book. And again, buy it, read it if you want to sing or be a public speaker, or not to die from pneumonia. So if you talk a lot like I do, then you need to look after your voice box, the larynx. Obviously, larynx is not going to function on its own. Your voice actually starts from your feet all the way up. And you must read this book by Jeremy Fisher called This is a Voice. And there are 99 exercises. You know, you don't have to do all 99 exercises. But what I mean to say, you need to understand your voice box. That's your larynx. That's your voice box. Now, interestingly, this is one of the chakras in ancient Kundalini yoga tradition. But the main thing I'm focusing today here is on the nasal cavity. And that's why this is sitting here. So a lot of us will have a blocked up nasal cavity and sinusitis. The problem is the sinuses drain anti-gravity. That means the holes to drain the sinuses is situated at the top. So the only time sinuses will drain when you're lying on your side, and then